everyone, welcome back to the land of Italy. Today I planned to do some off-screen work and then show some forestry and that sort of thing, but you know, I just was in the mood for more harvesting and in the mood to record, and I think I'll probably run out of time today before I would be able to get a video out after doing the prep work. So basically it was record more sunflower harvesting or not have an episode for you for Friday, and it would have been 7 Days to Die or something instead. So I've only had one of my solo farm sims up this week, so I wanted to get another one out. So here we are. I am doing some sunflower harvesting today. So I got the PDA map open here so I can see where I'm going. This thing is a beast. Look at it. I can't wait to get. I'm going to get the smaller harvester for doing these northern fields, but until then, I'm stuck using this thing. And actually, the northern fields, I don't know if you've noticed, are all seeded with But really? Really? Okay, so you're just going to come across the road. Look at all the room you got. Friggin' jerk, just push me into the trees then. Let me by. Don't know if I can. Oh well, don't mind the trees in the cab, but anyway. Department of Transportation needs to get out here and cut all these branches off. Anyway, so yeah, here we go. We're heading back north for our last sunflower harvest, and then it's all wheat up north. And so the wheat, of course, I'll be chopping into chaff. So one thing I've noticed is I watched Kara and Beavis had an episode on Kara's biogas map where they're using a new biogas mod, and I'm considering giving that a try on this series. So I think I'll wait a little bit because Beavis said he's going to be putting out a couple kind of how-to type videos on it, so I might wait and have a look at those first, but we'll see. So if any of you have seen that BGA extension mod and you're excited to see it go into this series, let me know. And if you're not and you have some reason why it shouldn't be in here, like, oh my gosh, it's going to break that thing with soil mod, let me know. But yeah, I kind of like to give it a try. I'm into new stuff other than new equipment. Just, you know, wow, it's another harvester with a different skin, so it looks a little different width. But you know, things like that I get kind of bored with pretty quickly. But when we do stuff like soil mod and forestry, these are pretty fundamental game changes. They really what make the game for me. So I'm gonna turn this thing off now. As you can see, I've already come up here with the corn header. I'll be there. There we go, and hook it up. Back up, out of the way. How we doing? We blocking the road. That milk truck comes by here. If I'm sticking out too much, you know what's gonna happen. Yeah, even my cat's saying, yeah, it'll be a train wreck, buddy. Yeah, I know, Callie, I know. So I'm sitting here, actually I've got homemade apple cider, so not hard apple cider. It's called cider when you take the apples and you press them into juice and then don't treat it any further. It's called cider, and if I pasteurized it and filtered it some more and made it clear, it would be juice. So anyway, it's cider, and oh, it's ever good. It tastes like juiced apples, which is obviously what it's supposed to taste like. Man, is it ever good for you? And it tastes so good. Anyway, having said all that, let's get to work. Getting low on fuel. Fortunately, I have a fuel trailer. I don't know if I have it, but I have it installed for the Zill truck. So if I run out of fuel, it's no biggie. This is going to be a pain doing that first outside bit, isn't it? Well, let's go nice and slow for that. Look at all the weeds in here. I guess I still could probably spray an herbicide on here, but yeah. Not gonna worry about it. So we're at the point we can either wait for a great demand for sunflowers, or we can just go ahead and sell it. So I probably will go ahead and sell it because I'm kind of in need for cash to get that sawmill. And so I've just covered the silage at the biogas plant. So I drove the loader over there, so it's all ready to go. And once I've unloaded that, I should have more than enough to get the sawmill, and then we are going to do some sawing of logs. Giggity giggity. Finally. It's like episode, I don't know what are we on now. Must be near episode 20, and I've cut some trees and thrown them down on the ground there, and that's about all I've done with forestry so far. So I'm kind of needing to cut some trees and do some of that. So we'll do that soon. Soon enough. So we're gonna just kind of, oh, I think we can bump the speed up along this edge. Doesn't look like it's too rough. Now, I'd do this in cab. It's just, I don't know, it just bugs me having all that dust going through the cab. It's just silliness. Now, they talk about physics fixes. There's a mouthful. Yeah. Physics fixes in FS15. Oh, now that's alliteration. Look it up if you need to. Yeah, so hopefully that'll be one of them, that you don't see the stuff coming through the cab, because holy crap, is that ever annoying. Get her down to speed 1 here around the corner. And once I get enough of a headline cleared here, I can go up and down the rows. So today I got a beta key for Trove. It's a game by Treon Worlds. They've done games like Rift, and I think there's a new one called Arc Age. So it's a fairly big, I don't know if they're a publisher or what you would call them, big company anyway. So they've got some games out, and one of them was, I applied for beta quite a long time ago for Trove, and then I haven't forgotten about the game, I just haven't been following it, and then suddenly, oh, here you go, here's a beta key today, closed beta key, so I'm like, okay. So I might actually do some of that for next week, we'll see. I think I will download the game tonight, and then and give it a go tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure what the file size, it might even be small enough to download today, I don't know. My download is so terrible. And I know you guys probably don't want to hear it again, so I'll shut up about that already. Damn internet. So, yeah, we'll give that a try maybe. I don't know, if there are any of you guys out there who do play Trove, I'd be interested to hear from you. And if you're on a server, who knows, I might come on and join. Because when I get games like that, solo play, you know me and solo play, I hate it. I hate playing alone, it's so boring. I'm a social gamer, I've got to play with other people or else I go crazy. And which is weird because I'm more like a hermit and I live, you know, in the backwoods of nowhere, and I don't want to go anywhere, and I hate leaving the house, and then it comes to games I can't play alone. But anyway, well, what can I say, I'm weird. So if you do play Trove and you want to, you know, take me for a tour around your world or whatever, and you have a server or you play on a server, let me know, and maybe we'll link up, and I might get you in the video to take me for a tour, or who knows. So let me know. That's what the comments are for, and we might give that game a little go. And I mean, it's closed beta, so 7 Days to Die is alpha. So, and there's so much more to do on that game as far as I can see, like do as in development. So I don't know. We'll go a while on that game, but I don't see it lasting forever. So maybe Trove will be kind of the next one I get hooked on. I get hooked on games, and you know, I go a month and a half. Same with the mods on Minecraft, and that's about as long as they hold my interest. I just get bored easily. But anyway, guess we already knew that, didn't we? Can I start going up and down this field yet? Just stay the course here and try to trim it up a bit. I don't know if there's enough room to turn down here yet, so we'll see. I might have to... Oh, we can turn this darn thing off. There we go. Need to turn that back there. There we go. Now I'm trying to straighten this mess up. So let's try and line it up over on here. So what I do is I kind of line up the left edge, or sorry, the right edge in this pass, and line it up with the field. And I have this thing about straight lines. I would make a pretty bad farmer, because it would drive me nuts if the rows weren't straight. Maybe I'd make a good farmer, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, if I don't have straight lines, my brain goes, oh my gosh, what are you doing? So that's one thing about doing a lot of carpentry stuff here, building a house. I couldn't, you know, I couldn't see a straight line to save my life at one point, and then, you know, you start doing the job, and pretty quickly you learn, or you rely on instruments, so I ended up learning instead. So that was kind of good. Learned a lot of skills, actually. You'd be surprised at how much you got to learn to build a house. So, yeah. We'll show more of that on our Survive and Thrive series at some point. So, some of you might be wondering who Don is on the Survive and Thrive. That is my dad. It's funny, we met when we were 25, or when I was 25, obviously he wasn't. And I was adopted, and I met my parents at 25, and so, whoops, don't drive over the crops. So we kind of hit it off. We went to, it's funny, we went to Mexico for a vacation. We kind of met, and off we went to Mexico to get to know each other, so that was kind of neat. And we all hit it off, and I moved to British Columbia. I was in Nova Scotia at the time, and moved all the way across the country. I mean, from the east coast of Canada to the west coast of Canada, and got a good job here doing about the same thing I was doing back there, except about 3 times the money plus benefits, and I was in a union. So I made enough in the few years that I worked there. Don was working at a Alcan, which is an aluminum smelter, and he was in management there, and he was making decent money, and I was making decent money. So we pooled our resources, bought a property in the middle of nowhere, and basically it was woods, and cleared out a section, and the 3 of us, Don and my mom and I, and we basically built a house out of the woods, and started trying to be as self-sufficient as possible. So lots of gardens and stuff. I'm not really much of a gardener, to be honest. I say gardening, we're not farming really. I mean, we've got some gardens, but it's not big farming. We're not using big equipment unless you count a backhoe, which is you need it here in this place. The dirt is really, well, it's not dirt, it's rock. So, and crushed rock, that's pretty much it. It's not the greatest soil. So we end up having, oops, let's leave that up. We end up having to sort through the dirt to get all the sticks and rocks and stuff out, and just keep doing that, and every year more comes up, but someday hopefully it won't. And got some gardens growing, and like this year, oh my gosh, so many potatoes. We got enough potatoes for 3 or 4 families, I think. We were trying something called what was the name of it? Anyway, it's a method of growing potatoes where you have we made a mound and put 3 rings on this mound down the slope. We made 3 kind of terraces down the slope, and planted our potatoes on the ground, and then covered them in about a foot of straw or hay. And what that does is all the potatoes grew under the hay but on top of the ground. So when it comes time to pick them, oh, you just literally roll the hay back, pick the potatoes up off the ground. That's how easy it is. Unfortunately, even with 3 cats, we still have a lot of rodents here, and so they got some of it. Most of it was from bugs called sow bugs. They look like little prehistoric, I don't know, hedgehogs almost. They're just little tiny bugs, and they got into, probably lost 1/3 of our crop, but we have so much planted that it wasn't a problem. So next year I think we'll go back to planting in shallow dirt to see if that makes a difference. But by planting on the side of a mound like that, we ended up able to pick the potatoes without, you still have to bend down, but not as much. And we didn't have to use, obviously, garden forks at all, so we didn't lose any potatoes in spearing. So we'll probably have to do that next year using the forks, but we just won't plant them very deep. And if they're just a little bit below the ground, they're not that hard to dig out, but it's a lot harder for the bugs to get at them. So hopefully that'll work out. And just had the last of the peas. Here it is October, and we're still collecting peas. We plant 2-3 crops every year, so, and spread them out over the year, so that's nice. You get fresh peas all from about midsummer on. Just picked the last apples off our trees this week, so they're called Yellow Newtons. They originated in Pennsylvania in the States, and so it's kind of a funny apple. You actually have to let it, you pick it and put it in storage for a few months before it really gets good. So I've never heard tell of doing that, but that's what we're gonna have to do. So once we're done with the bottles from the Macintosh apples, that's what we made in the cider. We'll see how the how the yellow Newtons work out for making cider, so that ought to be interesting. I actually have a Brix meter. A Brix meter is used to measure the percentage, whoops, here we go, the percentage of sugar in juice. So, for instance, if you took a glass of water and you put in a couple spoons of sugar, I could tell you from that how much alcohol you would get out of that if you were to ferment it, or just tell you what the sugar concentration is in percentage, and that's what Brix is. So, so that's handy. When we made our wine, we've got grapes, so we made our own wine from the grapes this year, and bought a press, and we have a fruit grinder for the apples, and so we're going kind of gangbusters on getting this stuff harvested, because it's taken, we moved here 10 years ago, and it's taken us this long just to get to the point where the grapes and the apples are really producing. So yeah, that's encouraging. It's nice to grow your own food, to be honest. We're trying to be sustainable and what's the word? Not sustainable and independent as we can be. But you know, you can't. No man is an island, is the saying. So you know, we still got to get our fuel. We could make ethanol fuel, but it's quite a lot of work. And honestly, if I did that, I wouldn't be able to make any videos because I wouldn't have any time left. Oh, there's the milk truck ahead of us. So where was I going with that? Anyway, yeah, lots of work. Lots of work. Anyone who thinks farming is easy, you don't know what the heck you're talking about. So, and I'm not even farming, so I can only imagine. How much work it is. You know what? Let's cut. We get our own darn field. We're gonna go cutting through the grass here because we know it's nice and smooth through here. Should cultivate this, and then we can see where we're going. Actually, you know what I should do is mow this, because I imagine there's enough overspray with the lime. Where did you go? There should be enough overspray with lime that we should have decent pH there. And my frame rate seems to be taking a bit of a drop here. Is that the lighting? I wonder. This thing is kind of hard to unload in here. I'm gonna have to switch to the tipper. Now the tip point on this is actually not in the bunker, it's right in front of it, so that's kind of weird, but that's the way it should be. I'll just try and make it look good anyway. There, pretend it's all dumping in. See, this canola texture there, but it's sunflower texture when it's dumping out. Isn't that weird? You should just act weird. Unless that's not the canola one for this map, is it? I don't know. Anyway. Shut up and get back in your truck. Okay. Now I wonder, did I put the fuel Bowser on there? That's water. Okay, fuel one's orange, I believe. Alright, so back we go. Ugh, you know what? I almost drove away without that trailer. Get your beacon on. What are you doing? I guess you wouldn't really have a beacon on, would you? Nope, that's not the right key. What? I can't remember what the key is to change the back. Bodywork key 5. I thought it was 5. There we go. It's also the key for the auto tractor and auto combine. So I'm recording this with OBS again. Yeah, it seems to be working better as far as the file size. Like before I recorded this, I recorded the co-op farm sim with Serenar and Beavis, so you'll see that on Sunday. Anyway, the point being that this file size, instead of being like 80, 90, 100 gigabytes, was 20 gigabytes. Like 80 or 90 or 100 is with Fraps. So with OBS, the quality seems as good or better. Let me through here, people, come on. And the file size is much smaller, so I guess the quality probably would be a little bit better with Fraps. But the overhead for the game, I've noticed, seems to be less than OBS, or with OBS. So I think it's a keeper. I'll try it with 7 Days to Die and Minecraft, but what this means is that allows me to record more footage, which that, you know, and I'm gonna think, for instance, that live stream, when I record the next one, I think I'll probably strip it out and just make one or two episodes instead of, oh my gosh, like, I've got a ton of episodes with this latest live stream, and I don't know, it doesn't seem terribly popular, so I don't know if it's even worth my time to do it. So Well, again, feedback. You gotta let me know if you're watching the 7 Days to Die live stream videos and watching the rest of mine too, and you really like it. You gotta tell me, because otherwise, I think next time I'll probably either record snippets or I will record the thing and then heavily edit it down. So, but I don't know. When you edit it down, you get you lose some of the context, so you miss. Imagine on this video that I've just shown you now, if I'm cutting out part of the conversation, and it just, I don't know, it kind of makes it harder to follow, I guess. So, I don't know, I gotta think some more on that. If I say I don't know one more time, you're gonna think I'm a dummy. Right, so what we're actually gonna do here is we're gonna trim this down a little bit further on the end to give me some room, because that hill is really close. So it makes it kind of hard to turn here. See, look, even this, here I am cutting straight. I could have followed the line of the sunflowers, but no, I gotta cut it straight. I tell you, these, I think I'm just crazy. There goes the milk. Man, that guy just never stops. I'm suspicious now that he gets caught in traffic and resets. I mean, otherwise, why would you go pick up the milk every 10 minutes? I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. Oops. So I noticed the map maker, Sukas map making, I think that's how you say it, or Sukas, I don't know. Anyway, he or she has version 2 of this map, so I'll have to have a look at that. I'm kind of hoping that, you know, if I do a map update, it won't ruin my save game, but, well, if it did, I think I'm capable enough that I could take these fields and edit the fields in the XML files, but boy, I don't want to do that. I would like to, you know, if he's gotten some new stuff on the map, I definitely would try it. I think, I recall that he might be adding the BGA extension, or else he's done something with the BGA, so we'll see. Anyway, I'm keeping an eye on that. I've subscribed to his Facebook page. I keep saying his. I did correspond with the map maker, and I assumed it was a guy, but if it's not, I'm really sorry, but 9 times out of 10 it is. I'm just lucky enough to get the 1 time out of 10 when it isn't, and then look like an idiot, but hey, that's what Hitman does, right? And on the live stream, Trillian commented calling me HITMAN82. My response to that is, I'm a survivor, and you don't survive by wandering around trying to help people who don't run. So I liken it to any of you who are Left 4 Dead 2 fans, the part on the bridge where you gotta run your butt off or die. I do not die on that map. Most of the time I make it, and if I don't, it's because of stopping to help people, which I do, but I don't. Depends. If they're acting like dummies for all the previous levels, then when we get there, they're on their own. But if it's somebody who's, you know, a good player or whatever, and they just got stuck by a jockey, hits them or something, yeah, I'll go back now. But anyway, yeah, it's not every man or woman for themselves. It's, you know, but at some point you still want to survive, right? Guess that makes me a jerk. Oh well. No wonder nobody will play with me. No, I'm kidding. Actually, right from the time I got up this morning, a friend of mine, actually the one who gifted me the FS15, I get out of bed, get on my computer, and the first thing's like, hey, you want to play Left 4 Dead 2? Oh my gosh, really? I haven't even had my coffee yet. Okay. So here I am, half asleep playing Left 4 Dead, and boy, I was actually killing them pretty good. It was pretty decent. Anyway, we are about nearing that time. Yeah, so we got one more harvest in. So next episode, obviously, this is it for sunflowers. So next episode, you won't have to see sunflowers. You probably won't even see sunflowers again on this map. Well, let's see. I mean, I've got the corn header now, right? So, and I've got cedar. So, but if you see it, it'll be down on the flat fields, because these northern fields are going to be wheat or barley or something I can make into biogas, and this is just a pain. Really, these are little fields are a pain because I gotta do it all. I suppose I could, you know, put the other harvester on and tell him to do it all himself after I go around the edges, but yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. You won't see this thing up on this field anymore, though. Guaranteed. Almost guaranteed. What else? We got so much to do for the biogas. Wow. When those wheat fields come up. Well, have you looked at this? Well, you're gonna anyway. Look at all that yellow. So you can see the 3 fields that aren't wheat. Just finishing cutting. Oops. Alright, that's right. So yeah, there's the corn and the 2 sunflowers. So I'm gonna have to deal with those, and I'll probably just leave those until the other northern fields are ready, and then I'll just do them all at once. Actually, I don't even know if I'll seed these again for now. I might just, I guess I got grass on the southern field, so probably seed them a couple more times and then make them all grass and plow all the southern fields. And boy, that's going to be a lot of work, isn't it? Anyway, I'm babbling again instead of closing the video. Have you noticed that, by the way? When I try and close a video, I just can't shut up. I don't know, there's something wrong with me. So, thank you for joining me. Next episode, we're going to have something other than cutting sunflowers. Well, we'll see. I'm going to have to do biogas next. So, I either show some of that, or it'll be straight into forestry. So, that's what you've got to look forward to for next week. Or dread, depending on whether you like that stuff or not. So that's what we'll do next time. Thank you again for joining me, and I'll see you next time here on Land of Italy. Bye for now.